Hi everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. In today's video I'm here to share with you the pictures that I completed during February. I did get round to quite a few pictures actually, and I managed to participate in lots of colour alongs, which is great. I have a few whips to continue with in March, but I'm really happy to show you everything. Please excuse this cut on my finger as well. I accidentally cut myself with my cutting knife, but it happens, you know. I use it quite a bit and, you know, it does happen. So the first thing I have to show you is something that I haven't actually coloured, but my mum did. We had a colouring art session last week and this was her final picture of the 12 pictures that I drew for her from Mother's Day until now. So I'm not going to be doing this again for her because I know that definitely the next few months are going to be very busy for me. So she said not to worry, and I'm actually doing something else for her for Mother's Day instead. So I believe she used De La Roni watercolours, and then she used actually I don't think she used any glitter on this. No, I think it was just the watercolours, but I did quite a few of these for her. This is using the How to Draw Inky Wonderlands book, and I think I did 3 of these type of pictures. So I did one with shells and one with mushrooms as well. So she had quite a few of these, you know, small motifs to do, which I think she really enjoyed because it doesn't take that much time. So yeah, I really like the way it came out, and I think she's pleased with this one as well. And a PDF that I actually finished was this one. Now, there were a lot of flower colour alongs this month, and all of the colour alongs I'm going to actually list in the next picture that I show. But apart from all of those flower colour alongs, this also counted for the PDF Colour Along 2021 hosted by Shalene. So this page was a kind of early page that I coloured in celebration of Flowerscape, which is a brand new colouring book that has just been released by Maggie Enterios, and I had so much fun colouring this, and I wanted to test using markers because I know that when I get the book I'm not going to be able to use markers in it because it's double-sided, which is absolutely fine because, you know me, I primarily use pencils, so for me marker is just a fun thing to try. So I used my touch free markers, which are kind of the same as the touch 5, touch new, all of that sort of stuff, and I then used a blue fine liner for the background. Apart from that, it was just alcohol marker, and I didn't put any glitter or anything on it. I just left it as it was, and I did have so much fun. It was really nice to test the blending on it, and I actually had an old moleskin notebook, so I used that paper and printed it. So that's why I've got the rounded edges here, which I do need to cut off. I also had a few Copic markers that I used. I have a few small sets of 5 or 6, which I got. They were on offer, so I tested using those as well, and I really enjoyed layering on these poppies. I didn't have the right sort of colour I wanted, so yeah, I layered, but it was so fun, and as you can see it did bleed through, but that doesn't matter because it is a PDF. So yeah, that's one of the things I got up to this month. Ooh. Okay, the next page is from Miniature Secret Garden by Joanna Basford, and this is one that goes for loads and loads of flower and leaf colour alongs for this month. So this was just a really quick fun motif to do. It's quite small, as you can see. What Joanna has done in these books is take a small segment of the actual big image and then just enlarged it a bit and yeah, changed it up. So this one, I think I had just used some pencils that I'd already used for another picture, and I thought, well, I like that colour palette, I'll just use it. The only thing is that the white gel pen has kind of seeped into the colour a bit, so I might go over that, but I kind of wanted to mix between the white gel pen and then I used some fine liner as well, so I'll probably go over that. But this is for Florals in February, hosted by Colouring by Mickey, Flower Up February, hosted by Chop and Haze, which is Shannon, Unbelievable 2021, hosted by Ashley Megan, Flowers of February 2021, hosted by Soadi Colours, and Green Leaves 2021, hosted by Julia13.tz. So they are all the flower leaf type colour alongs, so whenever I'm referencing to those, they will be the ones, and they are all on Instagram. So yeah, this is the page that I did, and it was a really quick fun one to do, and I used fine liner as well as the pencils for that one. So that's Miniature Secret Garden by Joanna Basford. So the next page is a buddy colour that I did, and this was with the lovely Valentina from Universe Art, and I did have so much fun with this. This is now my third page in Mythomorphia, and I'm really pleased that I've managed to do that many pages, because I think I've already done one in Imagimorphia as well, and I didn't get those books too long ago. So yeah, I'm pleased to have done a Kirby page this month. So this page goes for a lot of colour alongs. It goes for Unbelievable and the Green Leaves 2021 colour alongs that I already mentioned. It goes for 5 interpretations hosted by Emma_colouring and Ritak_art journey, and that was a colour along to do with 5 different things, or 5 of something. So I did this to go for 5 animals, because the fawn I counted as an animal, and then we have the squirrels, the birds, the beetle, and then the owl. So yeah, 5 different ones technically. So yeah, that's for that one. We have Colour Along Animals 2021 hosted by Tizzy Con, Fantasy February 2021 hosted by Kirsty Colour and Sketch, February Fruit Along Reloaded hosted by Eclair50, and NK_Marathon02 hosted by NK_Colour. So a lot for that one, but I really like doing backgrounds and things with Kirby's work, and I always use Zest It Blend usually, because I find the paper takes it really well, and I tend to use Prismacolors a lot more on their own, and they work really well with Zest It Blend. So I did just use Prismacolor, I think, and I did use some fine liner for the leaves. So the fun thing with this was I didn't want to worry about blending too much, so all of the leaves, apart from the ones that are with the berries and things, are actually just fine liner, no shading. And then these leaves here are shaded. So I did play around with that a bit, because I didn't feel like it needed that much, especially if I was doing a background for it. And I tried to get a distinction between the 2 browns that I was using, so the brown for the fawn and then the brown for the tree. And I had so much fun. The background, I used some stencils that I just made out of scrap card, and I did get a couple of questions about it. So it was really simple. At first I had just done a pink pastel background, and I thought it looked a bit plain because it was just, you know, one dimensional, it was just one pink. So I decided to then go over with a couple of other different colours and just layer up the clouds. So instead of doing, you know, starting with a white background and then just placing these in different places, I wanted that foundation of the pink. So that's what I ended up doing, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out, because it was an experiment. I'd never really tried this before, so I will definitely be using that technique again. And in terms of embellishments, I used Arteza White Gel Pen, a grey Jelly Roll glaze, and the pearlescent ink. And then I also used some glitter gel pen. So yes, I used some glitter gel pen for some outlining, and then on a couple of the areas, especially the horns, I actually used a new glitter paint that I got, which is a Calero paint. And I'll give you a sneak peek of it now, but it will be shown in my February haul. So I got some new Calero paints, and this one is just a pure glitter paint, whereas most of the other paints by Calero are pearlescents, they're more metallic. This one is just glitter and it's clear, so it's amazing. It's one of my new favourite things to use when I want to use glitter. So I also put a bit of glitter on the owl as well, just to make him pop out a bit, because I had incorporated browns with the owl and then added purples and things on top. So overall, I'm really pleased with this. I tried to keep with sort of a cohesive palette, but I really enjoyed doing the colour along with Valentina. Again, thank you so much for joining me in this colour along. I just had so much fun, and we actually have another one planned very soon, so that will be lovely to do as well. So that is my fawn page from Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. I then have another buddy colour that I did with the lovely Effie Colours, and this is from Fairy Celebrations by Clara Markova. I was so excited when she suggested to do another buddy colour in this, because I hadn't done a picture in here for a while, and this is the book that I've done the most pages in, so I'm slowly working through it. So it was this page, and it was a whip that I'd started last month. And this, as well as all of the other floral and leaf colour alongs, it also goes for February Love 2021, hosted by Effie, because I just think this is such a gorgeous page, and it does represent the love of kind of their friendship. We have the Colour Along Animals 2021, hosted by Tizzy Con, Fantasy February 2021, hosted by Kirsty Colour and Sketch, and the February Fruit Along Reloaded, hosted by Eclair50. So lots of those had already been for others as well. So this had quite a number of different pencils. Mostly it was Prismacolors, Holbeins and Black Widow Monarchs. So they were the new Black Widow pencils. I did use a couple of other pencils, but mainly those ones. And I had so much fun embellishing this, because it took quite a while, but I did have a lot of fun. So for all of the wings on the dragons, I firstly coloured them, and then I outlined them all in Arteza white gel pen, which did take a while. And then I picked out some areas that I then wanted to go in with clear jelly roll glaze. I think you can see that there. So I did that for all of them, and then I decided on her dress and a couple of other places that I'd also use jelly roll glaze, just to give the impression that it was kind of see-through. And I used a clear jelly roll stardust, some glitter gel pens. I followed a tutorial by Kat Kylie Colours on YouTube, and she had shown how to do cherry blossoms. So I followed it, and I was really pleased with how they turned out. So I went over with white gel pen dots, which I don't think she did, but she did use a yellow Posca, which is what I used as well. So I wanted to add a bit more white, because they were quite dark to begin with. So yeah, a really fun one. This is kind of my typical pastel palette. Although I do like the pop of colour from the strawberries, and I followed a Chris Chang tutorial for that, I think. So it's nice to see this slowly filling up. I've actually done quite a lot of these pages right next to each other, which is fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more in this one. The only other thing which I haven't mentioned, was a Stabilo metallic ballpoint. It wasn't ballpoint, fibre tip pen, like a felt tip pen, but it was metallic. So I went over a few of the, you probably can't see very well, a few of the dots with the metallic pen. So that is that page, and I had so much fun. So again, thank you to Effie for doing that colour along with me. Colour along? Buddy colour with me. Okay, so the next picture is from I Believe in Fairies by Clara Markova. But I do actually have something to show first. I'm not sure if you will have already been able to spot it. Sorry for the glare, I can't really help that because it is shiny. So this is the binder that I keep all of my postcards in that I complete, but originally this was clear, didn't have anything in it, but I have actually photocopied one of my pictures and put it in there instead. So it's the page or part of the page that I did a while back, which is the Halloween double spread from Fairy Celebrations. So I thought it would be good to do a picture from one of Clara's books, and yeah, I just photocopied it and slotted it in, and it came out really well. The quality of it is great, which I'm really happy about. So yeah, I've finally done that, so I just wanted to share that with you. But the page that I did was this one, so I've now done 4, which is great, and I'm so happy with how the overall binder is looking. I've really enjoyed colouring these postcards, it's so fun. So again, as well as all the flower and leaf colour alongs, this also goes for February Love 2021, hosted by Effie Colours. And again, the colour along wasn't so much about like Valentine's and just a picture of love. It's kind of how it shows love, that sort of thing. So again, I kind of got the friendship between the bee and the fairy. The Fantasy February 2021, hosted by Kirsty Colour and Sketch again, and Defease My Fevrier 2021, hosted by at Emmy Snows, and that was to create a picture with quite a bit of pink in it. So this one, I did colour a bit of it on a colour and chat, which was the This or That tag. And this one I was inspired by Emma Bridgewater, which is a very common company here, and I wanted to try and create the heart pattern on this jar. So that took quite a while, but I had so much fun trying to do that and just add a bit to it. And I thought, well, I did shade around the edges a bit with kind of a cream beige sort of colour because I wanted to do the darker background so that it pops out, and I think it does. So I coloured that, and then I just thought that I would do the darker colour that I'd used for the heart on the ribbon and various other bits, and slowly it just kind of took shape. I mainly used Prismacolors and the Black Widow pencils. And I again used my new glitter paint. You can see it a lot better, I think. Actually, the light's not picking it up very well, but it's a bigger area that I've done, so hopefully you can see that a bit better. I used my grey Jelly Roll glaze again on the B, and a gold Jelly Roll metallic on the middles of the flowers, and Arteza white gel pen. I did use some fine liners as well, but actually in terms of embellishments I was pretty conservative with it. I didn't add too much, which is really nice. Some of them I go absolutely wild with, and then some I use a bit less for, but it's just whatever calls to me, I do it. I did there was something else I thought of. Oh yeah, I used Arteza pencils for the background as well, and used Zest It Blend. So they actually worked really well with the Zest It Blend, and I've used Arteza pencils before in Mythomorphia, I think, to do a background, and they're great. So that's good to know that they work well for that sort of thing. So yeah, that's my postcard that I did from I Believe in Fairies by Clara Markova. Okay, I did a page from the new Airy book, which is Beyond the World Fairy Tale Colouring, and this is one of my favourites that I did this month. I don't think I expected that it would take as long as it did. I was actually, with this, just trying to do a sort of limited colour palette, but it was so interesting to try and, you know, think of how I wanted it to come out, and then for it to come out the way it did, I was happy with it. So this is the page that I did. And this one goes for quite a few colour alongs that I haven't mentioned yet. I'm going to insert a picture here for you. This was the picture that I was inspired by for this page. So as you can see, it's a picture of the Snow Queen, and I just searched it up and, you know, was looking and seeing what I could do for this page of the Snow Queen, and I really liked that picture. So I took inspiration from that and used the colour palette and came up with this. So this goes for Fairy Tales in February, hosted by Queen of Colouring. Read Then Colour, hosted by Kat Kylo Colours. Airy February, hosted by Ratner C. Ratner. Fantasy February 2021, hosted by Kirsty Colour and Sketch. So yeah, this one did take quite a while. Not actually the colouring stage, that didn't take a long time. It was all of the dots and the paint and everything that did take a very, very long time. Oh my gosh, though, it was just so fun and different from what I've done before. And this is my first page in this book. So I actually started by doing the background, because that was the thing that spoke to me first, and then I thought, well, I can use the colours from the background to then colour her in. So pretty much all of it is outlined in Arteza white gel pen, and I do need to get another one when they're back in stock, because mine is definitely running out. I use Prismacolors for this, just Prismacolor, apart from Polychromos for the hair. And then all of the embellishments are Arteza white gel pen, as I said, and then for the dress I used some silver gel pens, which was a Jelly Roll and a Uniball Signo one, the new glitter paint which I was talking about, and I think that's it. Yeah, that might be it. And then all the other embellishments are my Calero paints. Some of them are old and some of them are new, but again, you'll see those in my haul. And I also used a clear Jelly Roll glaze for these I don't know what you call them, like wisps. But I was going to outline them, but then I thought that might be a bit too much, because they, you know, might blend in a bit too much with the background. So I thought I'd leave them. But oh my goodness, it was something so different, and the outlining did take quite a while, but it was totally worth it. And I'm so pleased that I took the time to do that. And it turned out pretty much exactly how I had wanted it to. and it was just all these different techniques that I was trying out, and I was really pleased actually that the paper didn't buckle. I was worried that if I used the paints it would, but it didn't, so that's reassuring. And so it was a really fun kind of mixed media page. So yeah, that is my Snow Queen page, and that is from Beyond the World Fairy Tale Colouring by Eri. Okay, so now we're coming to my final coloured picture, and then I have a few whips to show you as well. So the page that I've coloured is from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I've got a whip in here as well, which I'll also show you. So the picture I completed was this one, and this was a whip again from last month. And along with all of the leaf and flower colour alongs, this is for February Butterflies 21, hosted by Nesmireth, and Nikki and the Inky Butterfly, hosted by Nikki in Niagara. So this was a buddy colour with the wonderful Kate from Kate's Colouring Haven, and also Zoe from Addicted to Colouring. And this is probably my favourite page that I've done so far out of this book. And I have used a number of different pencils on here. I actually have quite a few of them to the side of me in a pencil pot, because I'm currently using the same colours on the opposing page. Most of it was Holbein and Polychromos pencils actually, with a few Prismacolors, but I did use fine liners quite a lot. I used a Uniball silver glitter gel pen to outline the butterfly, and also some gold jelly roll metallic for the middles of the flowers, but again with embellishments. I didn't go crazy on this one because I didn't feel like it needed it really. For all of the leaves, I outlined all these bits that are darker. I outlined it in fine liner and then went in with pencil. So that's what I typically do with fine liner. I use it as a base. So this opposing page is the whip that I'm working on. And I'm using the exact same colours. So the brown is the same for the border. The blue's the same for the background, and you know, all of that sort of stuff. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I love doing these border pages. They're some, oh sorry, shoot the camera. They are some of my favourite pages because I feel like, you know, it looks detailed to begin with, but actually once you start colouring it, it's not. And they're so relaxing to do because it's not a repeating pattern, but it's still really satisfying to colour. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm working on the background at the moment, so I've put a base of the light blue on this side ready to colour. So you'll be seeing this one finished for next month, hopefully. I'm planning on finishing this one up and then hopefully getting started on the next page, but I'm really pleased that I managed to finish this one because I had so much fun with it. So that's what I've done for my Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I'll just show you, sorry for anyone interested, these are the pages that I did in my old copy. Where are we up to? Ooh, here. These are my old pages, so you can see compared to the one I've just done, it's very different, and I was happy with this at the time. It was one of the first pages I did in this book, but I'm a lot more satisfied with my newer copy. This one I actually really liked, and I am changing it up a bit because I am adding the background, and I did the bluebells a bit of a different colour, but overall it's probably going to have the same sort of vibe. I'm going to do the books the same colour as I've done them before in my new copy, so all of the colours of the butterfly. But yeah, that's how my old pictures came out. Okay, and then moving on to the 3 other whips that I have. So I do have quite a few, but I always have whips. It's fine, and I really enjoy colouring them. So we have one from Fragile World, sorry, and this is my buddy colour with Effie. And it's the polar bear page, let me find it. Okay, so this is as far as I've got. Admittedly, it's not a lot so far, but I don't think this page is going to take me that long because the actual polar bears and the iceberg and stuff, that's not going to need much shading to it because obviously it's going to be mostly whitish grey. And then I've really just got the sea and the seals, so I'm really looking forward to finishing this one. I tried to do the Northern Lights, so I used Prismacolor for this background, and I'm happy with how it turned out. It's very different. It's something that I'd usually do. And yeah, it was a lot of fun trying to create it. I did use some reference pictures, and I wanted to add this pink in just to give it a bit of difference, I guess, for that bit. And then I have the the poppy kind of teal colour for the Northern Lights there. So I'll probably add some white gel pen and dots for stars and stuff once I've finished. But that's where I've got to so far. So it's a nice foundation for this page. When I get to colouring a bit more of it, I will be doing a colour and chat because I have something quite exciting planned for it. So stay tuned if you're interested. But yeah, that's what I've been up to for that page. So that's from Fragile World by Kirby Rosannes. I then have a whip in Luna, and this is by Maria Troll. Now I kind of call this my TV book or film book because when we're watching something, it's just a really easy book to be able to colour in for that. One, because it's hardback, so it's easy to lean on, but also because I already have my colour palette figured out for this book, it's really easy to just pull them out and, you know, just carry on with the thing that I was working on. So the page that I'm working on is the one right next to the one I finished last month because I am working on it in order pretty much. So this is the one that I'm working on. It's one of the more detailed ones that I've done. I haven't really done many of the detailed ones so far, but yeah, I'm working on this one. So I am still using the same pencils as before. I've got my Giotto Stil Novo skin pencils, but I'm using them for the tree. And then I'm slowly layering up this background. So this is done. But the other bits aren't done yet, and I'll probably finish the background and then get going with the rest. So I'm not sure if this will necessarily be finished by next month. It's one of those books where I'm kind of not worried, you know, when I get pages finished, because I'm kind of just going with the flow with it, and if I don't get it finished, that's fine because it's always there for me to work on. So yeah, that's the whip that I'm working on. And then my other whip, which I am going to get finished soon, is this one from Floribunda by Layla Dooley. And this has been a very intimidating book, and I got it quite a while ago, and I had started a few whips that I really wasn't happy with, and finally I thought I'm going to do a page in this for my mum for Mother's Day. So I am so pleased with how much I've managed to do. I'm following a tutorial by Shirley XRY. I've followed quite a few of her tutorials before, and I'm using Prismacolors. So as you can see, to me, I actually don't have that much left. I know it looks like I do, but I only have one of the roses left. No, a couple left. Once the roses are done and these other small flowers are done, I've just got the leaves left. And I know they're very fiddly and they're small, but I've got the main bulk of it out of the way. And I have actually really enjoyed colouring this one so far. I think I'm more than halfway through the tutorial now. The only thing that's tricky with this is that she doesn't always show everything she's coloured. So, for example, she didn't show how to colour this rose, so I kind of had to just improvise with that one. So yeah, that's the only thing. So the actual length of the tutorial isn't doesn't really show the full time that it will take. Obviously, you know, following tutorials it takes longer anyway because you're having to pause and, you know, colour. But I'm really enjoying it, and the paper is lovely. It's a really thick, smooth cardstock, which is perfect. And I've found just by burnishing the colours or using a little bit of blender pencil, I'm managing to get the desired effect I want. So yeah, that's where I've got to so far. So you will be seeing this in my March completed pages because I'm determined to get it finished for Mother's Day, which is coming up very soon. So I need to get this one finished. So this will probably be one of my main things that I'm working on for the first couple of weeks in March. So that is my other whip. So they're all the colourings that I have to show you, but I'm just quickly going to go and get my arts book to show you what artwork I've been up to this month. One thing I wanted to share before I show you my artwork was my diamond painting. So I did show this last month, and I think I'd only got this top bit done, but as you can see, I'm quite a bit further with it now. I'd say, you know, I'm well on my way to having a quarter of it done, which is brilliant. As I said in my last video, I'm not putting a time frame on this. I'm just enjoying it, and I'm optimistic that I could finish it fairly soon, but I'm not going to say, oh, I'll have it finished by next month or whatever, because I don't think that will be very realistic. But it's holding up really well. I've only had a couple that have kind of got a bit loose and I've needed to put them back in place, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and I haven't actually worked on it for that long this month, and I feel like the progress I've made is really good. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's still really sticky, which is great. So I'm looking forward to doing more on this. And as you can see, my method of keeping them in the bags with the tape is actually working quite well. I haven't had any major spillages yet, which is good. If diamond painting becomes a regular thing for me, I may decide to get some pots to put them in, but I doubt this is going to be something, as I said last month, you know, where I have one all the time. I'll just do one every now and then, but it depends how I like the finished results. So yeah, that's my diamond painting that I just wanted to show you. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to get quite the whole double page in for you, but the page that I'd done before you'd already seen, and that was my cola bottle spread. So for any of you who didn't watch the January completed pages, my new project that I'm doing is called Reflections. So I am exploring different artists and themes and stuff within reflection, which is really interesting. So I decided firstly to do some observational drawings. So I'm kind of focusing on man-made objects at the moment. So this was a picture that I took of one of our glasses, and I decided to put a spoon in it and see what I could come up with. And this was my favourite picture that I took. So I have also included some of my other photography, because even though I'm doing fine art for GCSE, photography is still a really valuable way of gaining marks. So, you know, our teacher always tells us to include that sort of thing as well. So this was my drawing. So this is graphite pencil. I think I used three different pencils, and they are Faber-Castell ones. So I'm so pleased with this. This is probably my favourite thing that I've done so far. And I took inspiration from other people because they always annotate their work and say what they don't like about what they've done. So I thought I would do that as well, just around it. So yeah, this took a very long time, but I did approach it in sections. So I did, you know, this section first, then that bit, and so on. So it wasn't so overwhelming for me. So I did do it in the same size as well, just to, you know, keep it more realistic, I guess. So then I've done a couple more observational drawings, but in smaller amounts. But I wanted to test different materials and how they showed reflectiveness. So this is marble, and this is a polar bear figure that I have. This was resin, I think, and this is a bracelet that my mum has, but I actually did it in gouache instead, which is good because, again, you know, using different mediums is really good for you know, showing your different fine art skills. And then we have, I think it's a paperweight, and this is glass. And then we have the keys as well, which I think was metal. So yeah, again, I've annotated things about those as well. And then I'm planning on doing another double spread. So I need to print off more pictures for the earrings, but I've done two more drawings. Again, that was the little teapot one. And then I'm going to do two more drawings as well. So I've left space for that. Oh no, this is stuck together a bit. And then the final thing that I did this month was this spread, because I have started to, let me move that for you. I have started to look at different artists. So Andy Goldsworthy is one of the artists that my teacher recommended for me for the sort of thing that I'm going for. And so I decided to just do a bit of information on him. And in my artist studies, I always do an information page, and then I go off and do stuff inspired by the artist. So yeah, this is what I have going on at the moment. So information about him and pictures, and then I also had these foils and things that I decided to put on because they show reflectiveness and kind of match the colour scheme as well. So yeah, that's all I've done for my art this month. I'm actually quite pleased with the progress I managed to make, but I need to just keep going with it. We've got until the end of the year, but I imagine we'll have to start our final pieces fairly soon. So yeah, that's what I've done. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. As always, I do show my artwork and my colouring, so hopefully there's something for everyone. But yeah, that's what I got up to. So thank you so much to all of you for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. Every comment and, you know, all of your views and likes and things, it really does mean a lot. And I love making these videos, and I'm so glad that you enjoy watching. So I will see you all again in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.